My fellow comedy movie fans. Now, I know a lot of you remember We're the Millers. That movie came out in August of 2013, and it turned out to be a success. The budget on the movie was 37 million. The box office was 270 million. That's great for a comedy movie. And let's check the ratings right here for the ratings and the reviews for the first movie. And there is a reason I say first. Keep that in mind. The average rating amongst Google audiences is 85 to 92%. Metacritic gave it a 44%. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 49%. Forget them. Internet Movie Database gave it a 70%. That's more like it. And in the summer of 2022, Will Poulter, who played one of the characters in the movie, played the son Kenny. Now, he said there's more than likely it's probably not going to happen. There's probably not going to be a sequel. I don't see it happening, but I would love to work with these people again. Fast forward a few months later, an article came out on The Looper. This was published by Maria Felix in November of 2022. It says, will there be a We're the Millers 2? And let's get into it. Warner Brothers' 2013 film We're the Millers was considered a surprise hit. The road trip comedy cost only $37 million to produce, and a fraction of its staggering worldwide $270 million gross revenue. Those studio profits combined with the movie's ending teed up a likely sequel starring the dysfunctional Miller bunch. Indeed, the story has a fun plot with a sequel-friendly ending. Small-time pot dealer David Clark, played by Jason Sudeikis, is roped into transporting a large amount of marijuana into the U.S. from Mexico by his mean-spirited boss, drug lord Brad Goodlinger, played by Ed Helms. David convinces his neighbors, stripper Rose, Jennifer Aniston, oddball teen Kenny, Will Poulter, and runaway Casey, Emma Roberts, to accompany him and pose as a normal family in exchange for a portion of the payout. Things get dicey when a vacationing DEA agent, played by Nick Offerman, begins to suspect the group. In the end, the group is placed in the witness protection program, and the mischievous Millers reveal that they may not be finished living the con artist's life. When the camera pulls out, it exposes croppings of marijuana plants growing in the Millers' suburban backyard, perfect for a follow-up. Now, I got to be honest with you. I really didn't think that. I don't know who all thought this, and maybe some people watching this, you might have a different perspective or perception. Maybe you thought differently. I didn't think about the possibility of a sequel back then. That's just something that didn't cross my mind. I didn't know if they were actually going to do it. And keep in mind, nothing is official yet, but let's continue. We're the Millers 2 has been announced, but that's about it for now. Soon after the success of We're the Millers, New Line Cinema confirmed that there would be a sequel per We Got This Covered. The company announced the attachment of writer Adam S. He's got a really long last name that I don't know how to pronounce, and I'm not going to waste time doing that. Adam S., known at the time for Due Date, the comedy starring Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis. The studio also announced the return of director Rawson Marshall Thurber, who directed the original. Since the announcement, Adam created the NBC sitcom Undateable, starring disgraced comedian Chris D'Elia. Thurber has also focused on other projects, including the film Skyscraper and the upcoming Netflix action thriller Red Notice, starring Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Wonder Woman Gal Gadot. Okay, fast forward. Let's talk about We're the Millers again. With a number of comedic actors in the first film, the creatives have plenty of avenues they could take for the sequel. Perhaps the Millers' old friend Edie, played by Katherine Hahn, even pays them a visit from the West View in the future. Okay, now let's go to another one, a slightly more recent article that I see. Now, this article was this was in the Teal Mango in December of 2022. We're the Millers 2. What do we know so far? Who doesn't love a classic American crime comedy, one of the finest and most comfortable genres out there? The movies tend to be full of humor, which makes them a favorite among fans of the genre. The storylines are often unpredictable and unexpected, which keeps fans on their toes as they watch. One of the most popular films from the genre is We're the Millers, the one famous film of Jennifer Aniston, where she becomes the only good reason to watch the film for fans. The perfect family watch that bound everyone in the imperfect family trailer in the film. We're the Millers is one of the highest grossing films from 2013 and came out as a surprising film that filled both the boxes of numbers and fans. The film was directed by Ross and Marshall Thurber. Blah, blah, blah. Probably the reason why the crime comedy starred Aniston. The film has been a fan favorite since the premiere, and many of us still counting the days whether we'll get to see another from the series. So if you're curious too, jump in to explore the possibilities. Will there be a second We're the Millers? This was a massive hit at the box office. Okay, they're kind of repeating some of the same things here. Fast forward. We're the Millers hints sequel. The ending hints a sequel. Like many of the fans, there has been collective speculation about a sequel that directly gets its essence from the ending of the first comedy feature. At the end of We're the Millers, it's revealed that David colluded with the DEA to use him as an informant and turn in his boss who was smuggling marijuana. Blah, blah, blah. Well, the ending of We're the Millers left many questions unanswered and hinted that there could be a sequel. Perhaps it would be interesting if it followed their attempts at blending into suburbia or exploring their enemies coming for revenge. Who would be in the sequel? Considering there is no official announcement for the film yet, but following the sequel plot and possibilities of the film, we can expect the prime cast to reprise their roles in the sequel, including Jason Sudeikis, Jennifer Aniston, Will Poulter, and Emma Roberts. And so that's all we know at this point so far, folks. So this is what we have. I'll be glad to. I'm waiting for it. I'm kind of eager for it. I think it would be hopefully it'll be just as good as the first if they actually go through with it. Like I said, at this point, it's been 10 years since the last one came out. So I'm guessing if they come out with a second one, it'll probably be in 2024, maybe 2025. We'll have to see. But I'm sure most people have seen the first one. To those of you who, by any chance, if you haven't, it's available to watch on HBO Max, or you can buy or rent it on Amazon or YouTube. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I'll be glad to see these people reprise their roles. I'm curious to see what the sequel is going to entail as far as plotline. But either way, I'm going to stay posted with it, and I suggest you all do the same.